Our journey begins just about 2 hours inland from San Diego, California, in the Anza-Borrego Desert State Park. If you're looking it up on a map, look for Pictograph Smuggler's Canyon Trail. It's also called Blair Valley Pictographs or Pictograph Trail. And as you can see, there are many dirt roads and not much around. If you enter the park where I did, there's a small campground, these wonderful maps, and a surprisingly clean restroom, which I advise taking advantage of as it's the only one I found. Okay, I made it. I'm here at the Anza-Borrego State Park, and I am going to take a look at the Pictograph Trail. It says it's only 1 mile, so shouldn't be too bad. The road out here was pretty sketchy. I would recommend, if you're coming out here, to definitely have a 4-wheel drive or high clearance. There were places where the road is just sand, and you definitely need a high clearance vehicle to make it through. Okay, this is really cool. Check this out. This is like a little cave. I'm going to turn it around so you can see. Wow. Definitely been fires in here, probably pretty recently. It's open here at the top. That's pretty cool. This is right off the road. This is right off the parking lot, and it looks like some people have been drawing their own pictographs right here. There's a little boat. Yeah, some cute pictographs. But that's actually the parking area on the road right through here. So this is a cool little spot from the get-go. Okay, let's see what else we can find. This is a well-loved trail. So we're out here about 5 miles in the Anza-Borrego State Park, out in the wilderness. A few campers here and there, but pretty much have the place to ourselves. And I'm just in awe. I've just started the trail, but I'm in awe with these rock formations. How cool are they? I was told to touch that, even though there's some pricklies nearby. And what I saw when I touched it was a whole scene. A whole scene. First I saw coyotes howling at the moon. Do coyotes do that? I guess they do. And then I saw like a hunting scene. I saw a whole group of indigenous peoples around a fire and a campsite. Must have camped in this area. And then I saw that they were a hunting party, and that they would wear the skins of the coyote for their hunting. I didn't see what they were hunting, but I saw that scene. See what else we can see. Wow, look at this. Look at this line of what looks like marble straight through the middle of this rock. Isn't that interesting? Wow, how beautiful. There's something amazing around every corner here. Here's another one. Look at that. Wow. How stunning. It's like a natural desert garden. How beautiful. Wow. I'm so excited. Oh my God. You've got to be kidding me. These are my first impressions. I came in here cold, but while looking at this trail, I got a glimpse of these pictographs, but I purposely didn't want to examine them on the pictures of the trail because I wanted to experience them for myself. But earlier, when I saw those indigenous people with their camp and their hunting party, I noticed that they had tattoos. And one person in particular had a tattoo. And it was this style. It was this style. It wasn't an image that I can see here exactly. It was a circle with lines out from the top and from the bottom. But it was this style. Okay, I'm going to see what I could get from all this. I begin meditation in a comfortable position, and I'm soon instructed to align my body to proper positioning for receiving, such as lengthening and straightening my spine. Okay, so I received some insight, and what I got is that someone was on a spiritual journey. They were on some sort of psychedelic plant medicine. I don't know what they would have taken back then, maybe peyote, something like that. But these markings are fairly straightforward. They don't have really very much spiritual meaning. Something like this is a snake, the back of a snake. If you can see that well. This one too. This, they can pretty much be taken literally. So this is water, and then these arrows going down is showing you where you can get water, and that it could be next to a plant. Sorry, I'm trying to point correctly. This one puzzles me a bit more. This one seems more to me, and I've spent some time on it, like a doorway. This one might have more of a spiritual meaning, something that they're seeing on their psychedelic journey. This is obviously the sun. I'll have to ask some more about these Ys. I'm not sure about these Ys. Look at the design. This I did ask about, and that's simply as it looks. It's basketry. That was a important technology that they had, and they were sharing how to do the basketry. Let's see what else I can get. There's a hidden symbol here. Can you see it? It's framed, part of it by the natural rock, part of it by the drawings. And this here shows you where it is. My finger kind of messes it up, so I'll keep my finger out, but it's an eye. I went up and looked at it closer to make sure it's not just natural markings on the rock. Part of it may be, but it was used to make that eye. The interesting thing about that, I saw it as soon as I opened my eyes. I was meditating and I had the sun on my third eye, and I open my eyes and I see that. And I don't know if you can see it. But the interesting thing about it is this. This is my hat that I'm wearing today. There's a square with the eye in the center. Okay, so the Ys are plantings from seed and growing up, all these little seeds. So it is pretty straightforward. I mean, these are kind of interpretations you could get from just looking, but it's what I got from using the site as well, that was their intention, to kind of share a little bit of information about how they lived, or where to find the water, how to make baskets. It has struck me that they have this, I think they're called morteros, like a mortar is what it is. This bowl here that was used as a mortar, so they spent time here. Okay, I'm sitting here in front of the Pictograph rock, and what I received about the eye is that it is there intentionally. If you can see in the earlier videos I showed of the pictures themselves, they're in red, but there's also a yellow that's used, and the yellow is more faded, and that yellow was used to help create that eye, but it's been faded now. And they also would scrape the rock with another rock to kind of carve out the shape a little bit around the eye and the circle in the middle. And that was there as sort of a spiritual symbol, saying that the eye is watching you, the eye can see you. It was sort of like a worship type of a thing. That's why it's above the pictographs, and it's kind of framed by the pictographs, showing the way they lived around that symbol of the eye that's watching. So that's more of like a spiritual thing, a spirit being, or a God symbol. The all-seeing eye, the all-knowing. So very interesting. This stuff is just as much of a surprise to me as it is to all of you. But yeah, I mean, I'm wearing the eye, and I'm wearing the eye because to me it represents the third eye, the sight and the knowing. Yeah, I like to come into these completely blind and just see where I get, because I know that, I'm not leading it. I'm just picking up what's in this space. And that's how I use my sight. I just let go of all of my own answers, and just come in completely blank and see what comes to me, see what I receive. And I usually receive in images, so that's what I've seen today. Look at those rocks, those stripes on those rocks, just amazing. There's some here and here. How beautiful. And I'm on my walk back to to the car from the pictographs, and I was told more information about the tattoo on the man that I saw that was in the hunting party. The circle was him, and there was 3 lines on top for his parents. One was a grandfather, and the other 2 were his parents. So these are living relatives. These are who are living at the time of the tattoo. And then the 4, of course, is him, his spouse. His spouse and his 3 children. He is the circle. I asked why he would want to put his family on his skin. Of course, many of us do that today, don't we? But there was a reason, same reason we have for keeping them in our hearts and in our minds at all times, but also another reason, and that was to show others in war that he had a family, that he was not alone. So that they could treat each other with kindness, even in conflict, knowing that each person had a family of their own. I wanted to share this sign with you. These are where we just came from, the pictographs at Blair Valley. It looks like there's more pictographs to see around here. I'll have to come back and look at those sometime, but I really don't like to look at the pictures before I explore the site. What I was interested in is their interpretations of the pictographs. They don't really have any direct explanations, except that I can see red is often, they say, female color and black is a male color. And that these might be for initiation rites. That may be, as I saw that they were on some sort of psychedelic. But what the exact pictures mean, they don't have an explanation. We do, however. Now we know, at least of the site we checked out today, we have an idea of what the pictures were about, why they were there. That's the benefit of traveling with the site. I'm headed to my next location, and I'm still receiving information from the pictograph trail that I want to share with you. So when I saw that band of indigenous tribe that was camping out and hunting together in the Anza-Borrego State Park area, I also saw some things that I didn't understand, and so I didn't want to mention them until I could understand what I was seeing. So one of the native peoples, it was a man, had long, dark, straight hair. He was thin. He had red on his face, on the upper half of his face, and a line of black underneath it. And I asked kind of get him in the mode of hunting, and so that he can be the best hunter that he can be. So it's almost like an aid. I use those sometimes in my spiritual journey. An aid to put on a different personality for the duration of the hunting trip. That of, the hunter warrior. And he may not have those attributes in his everyday life when he's with his family and being tender with his family and loved ones and community. But when he's out hunting, he needs to be a different part of himself. And so that paint on his face helps him to move into that other personality that he needs to embody for the duration. I also saw some white things kind of sticking up from the top of his head, almost like a crown, like a circle. Just a few though. It wasn't all the way around. It was like a couple here, a couple there, like one here. And I had to look and see what is that? And they were feathers, but they're short feathers. They're like that maybe. Short feathers. They're short white feathers. And so I looked into it to see what kind of feathers they are, and they are from an owl. They're owl feathers. They're white feathers, and they have little black spots on them randomly, like on the feathers. So I'll have to look that up and see what kind of owl that is, or what type of owl that might have been back in that time. But and I asked, what's the purpose of those feathers? The main purpose of the feathers is they are put into they're like touching, the ends are touching his head, his scalp, and he's using those feathers to feel the wind. So he knows which direction the wind is going, which is really important for him while he's hunting. So depending on which feathers are moving and kind of, scratching his head or moving against his head, he knows where the wind is going. And so that helps him be a better hunter, so that he can be, downwind of any animals that they're hunting. And then the other purpose is to take on the qualities of the owl. Owls are very good hunters. They have very good sight. They can see things from very far off. And they also have really great night sight, which is important for this hunter, because when I saw them moving with the coyote pelt over them, and the coyote head and the coyote pelt behind them, wearing it, almost as a disguise, it was very, it was hard to tell. I think it was very early morning or very early evening, where it was dark and there was just a little bit of light, just a very little bit of light on the horizon, and the sky was slightly light, but mostly dark, just enough to kind of see with our regular human night vision. So those feathers were helping him to take on the attributes of the owl, and also to feel where the updates about different locations. That way you can get the full picture of a site and everything that's coming through about it. So anyway, I hope you're having a great time. If you have any suggestions about sites that I can visit, please comment below. I would love to see those. And I'll see you in the next adventure.